We are almost towards the end of March and knee deep in March Madness. And on today's episode, me and Pat are going to update the players and the draft stock from certain NBA prospects that we see from the tournament. We're also going to talk about why it's time for all the tanking fans to let go of those tank dreams. It's done. We're going to get to all that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, a member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat, the designer, host, and creator of the Windy City Breeze, and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Hayes, host, creator of Chicago Bulls Central and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control over your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at Monarch Money for 50% off your first year. Pat, get a chance to talk about some NCAA prospects. Now, it's going to pair nicely with the with the second segment of the show. Yeah. But, you know, it is around that time where you start looking at who's rising, who's falling. If this was the Garpax era, we know that whoever had the hot month of March in the tournament was probably who the Bulls are going to have at least in their top three on their board. But nonetheless, prospects, it's been an interesting I think tournament because some of the guys that I know that we talked about earlier on as guys that were on our board just did not have good NCAA tournaments. KJ is one of the first ones that I'll bring up here. Very solid player. I still like him. Not necessarily I like him for the Bulls. I still like his prospects of coming into the NBA. But I tell you what, especially that game yesterday against Kentucky, it's a little rough.
I don't like him.
You don't like him anymore?
And listen, I haven't. I thought he was balling when we first brought him up. I thought that he was still a solid player, still a piece that could be utilized. I didn't think he fit with the Bulls at any point. I always was like, we don't need another guard. But as far as the scorer, I thought he had something. And I'm going to tell you this right now. He is far too inconsistent for somebody who gets the ball as much as he does for you to feel good about him being a legitimate piece. I still see him in mock drafts coming in top 10. And I'm confused at what people are seeing. Are we talking about size? Are we talking about ability to score? What are we talking about here that has him as a top 10 pick? KJ is a guy for me who, by the way, if you wonder who we're talking about, Yakachonis. I don't know if we said his name, but Kasparis Yakachonis. To me, take the first three letters of his name, and that's his game, Cap. You know what I mean? Like, as an Illini fan who's very jaded right now, it almost reminds me of a guy that we played. Who was the shooter that ended up going in the draft? We just played him on Utah. Is it on Utah? Cody Williams. Reminds me of Cody Williams' game, right? Like you sit there, and you're like, oh, he's cooking, he's killing it, and then you start to dig into the numbers, and you start to see the game by games. You go, well, yeah, he went like 8 for 8 that day, but then he went 1 for 6 that day. So which one is the real him? It seems like in his NBA career so far, it's the one that now they are doing their best to lose every single game possible. So they may not be playing him much either. But it seems like it's the one where he's inconsistent.
Cody Williams also got a little bit of that Scotty Barnes syndrome, but I'm just going to leave that there.
We're not going to talk about that. Yeah, I mean,
I'm just going to leave that there.
The alligator. He's never beat the alligator.
For those that know, they know is all I will say. I'm going to leave that right there.
He's never beaten the allegations. But yeah, KJ to me is the draft stock shouldn't be. It should be nowhere near where it is right now in my mind.
Yeah. For sure. One that to me, it's definitely gone up, and I wish I could say that it hasn't because I want him to be there. And with the Bulls, like Derek Queen, I know we talked about it both before. Derek Queen's stock is like there were some mocks that had him going like in the middle of the first round. Is he gonna be a top 5, top 6 pick, Pat?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. How Derek Queen has played, and I know this sounds crazy to say, but how Derek Queen has played in this tournament, I would not be surprised if teams who are going to miss out on Cooper Flagg, which it feels like Cooper Flagg is going to be a wizard, if you see the Utah Jazz or the Charlotte Hornets take. I would not be surprised if he goes that high, top 3 type of pick, because what he's been doing. First off, he's had a
top 3 for Derek Queen, bro.
He's had a uber consistent season. And on top of that, now he's turned the game up in the tournament. Those are the kind of players that you look at and you go, well, what does that extrapolate out to if we give him the shots, if we allow him to play more? Heck, if we pair him up with LaMelo Ball at any point, if he's ever healthy. You know what I mean? Like, what does that guy look like with the team that we currently have? Now, the Utah Jazz, I think, might be a little tough, but I can see Charlotte taking him. I can see him fitting in well with what they got going on in Charlotte. Now, no one's ever healthy, so you don't never know what that team looks like, but
I don't know. I don't think personally there's any way Charlotte passes up on Trey Jones or Ace Bailey to draft Derek Queen, but not because of knock on Queen. It's just also Charlotte's stupid. They're stupid. They may very well have a top 3 pick and they end up taking Igor Dimon. Like I just, you never know. Like they just could do some stuff like that. When you, bro, because I do Locked On NBA with Doug.
Yeah.
He went through one day. We talked about all the players that the Charlotte Hornets passed up at draft picks. Literally, they would have one of the greatest teams of all time if they didn't miss on so many draft picks.
Yeah. Michael Jordan didn't just love
not
North
even a
Carolina.
joke. Like literally, we're talking about some of the best talent in the world that they passed up with some of their draft picks. It's like, wow.
Yeah, no, legitimately, like the when you look at like the misses that Charlotte has had over the years, you just go, it's almost like basically call Michael Jordan or whoever's running Charlotte and be like, who are you taking? And then if they let you know, that's how you know not to take them. Like that's how you. Oh, okay, all right, bet he's gonna bust. He's not gonna pause. Jesus, bad. Hey, I mean, it depends. Could be true because that's kind of how they've been playing. Somebody who I think stock has gone the right direction. Though I will say this is what we saw in that last game versus Texas A&M out of Danny Wolf. I think he's starting to move. I need him to calm down. He got called on, and they were like, "Hey, we got you. Don't worry about it. Let me show you what I can do out here."
Well, you said that early on that Danny Wolf is definitely going to be somebody who his stock grows.
Yeah, he's really showing the versatility. I mean, and it's not like he's been just absolutely going out there every single game and putting up 50, but the fact that you know that he can score so much better than what he has, but he's still giving you the rebound numbers, he's still giving you the defensive blocks and the steals per game. Like it is one of those things where it's like, again, how does that extrapolate out to the NBA? He feels like he'll go from being one of those, about 14 points per game this season, to one of those players that's like, I can be 25 at one point in my career.
Yeah. Another one, JT Toppin out of Texas Tech.
Yeah, those Toppin boys.
Are you going for the most possible episode ever, bro? Like, did you say he's Toppin boys? Like,
I said those Toppin boys.
That's even worse. I don't know if that's any better. JT Toppin started off like in a lot of mocks, like towards the very end of the first round, which I still think, he's I don't know if he's going to get up to like a lot or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if I see JT Toppin drafted as one of the first 2-3 picks outside of the lottery.
Yeah, probably. I think he might even be a lottery pick, a late round lottery pick for some people. The size, I think, makes him very interesting. A lot of forwards in this draft, a lot of size in this draft, and somebody who, dare I say, if you're a tough part is you paid him already, right? But if you're looking for your P. Will replacement, would JT Toppin kind of fit that in your mind a little bit?
Oh yeah, I mean, if and we'll know this once it happens. Like if the Bulls make it to the playoffs and no longer have a lottery pick, I wouldn't be mad at JT Toppin because I look at that and say JT Toppin and Modest as your forward combo.
Yeah.
Not necessarily mad at that at all. There's still some defensive questions there, but I'm not mad at that being a possibility. So I definitely think that could be somebody that I'd be very interested in the Bulls drafting if it comes down to that. But yeah, I would. Yeah, right outside the lottery, I think is where he's on. You said that you could see a world in which he becomes a draft pick, a lottery pick.
I can see a world where he becomes a lottery pick because the offensive numbers have been massive. I mean, it's very rare where like people just consistently go off for 25 points in college.
Yeah,
he does it almost every other game. Like he is somebody who offensively is just there's not a shot that he doesn't see that is not makeable for him. I think that that's something that NBA teams could look at and say, listen, if we need somebody who's going to be pure offense, but also still give you the size around the rim, I think that's the thing too, the aggressiveness that he has around the rim. There's some of the big guys in this draft that I do wonder, like, okay, but if somebody at the NBA level is as aggressive as you are, or is more aggressive, are you going to fight for that extra rebound? JT Toppin, I don't have that concern with. He's a guy who's always following the shot, always cutting to the rim. I thought what he did the other day versus Drake was just a master class. I mean, a great double-double, 25 and 12, end up putting out there. A couple of blocks in the game as well. Just like those are the games where you just see him be able to do a little bit of everything, and it does get you excited.
Yeah, I like JT Toppin a lot. I still have Rasheer Fleming a little bit above him if we're going to go for that type of player. Yeah. But I wish that St. Joseph's would have made it to the NCAA tournament so you can see him with this level of competition. But woulda, coulda, shoulda on that one.
NIL might be causing the death of the tournament, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sitting there watching the tournament, I'm just like, ooh, Cinderellas are dead, baby. Like,
I don't know if you can say that completely. There have been some pretty big upsets in this tournament, bro.
Not really. You got some 11-6s and stuff like that. Like those are normal. But like I'm talking about a Cinderella, like bottom of the barrel. All of a sudden you find a shooter out of that mug. A Stephen Curry is in that mug. You ain't getting that really in this tournament. That NIL money, it's like, hey brother, you want to make more money? Because we have it. They finna have to come out with contracts in college, bro. Like just full on contracts.
Man, that's probably where the NCAA is gonna be. All right, now we allowed you UMFers to get some money. Y'all want contracts now?
Bro, they're gonna have to sign a two-year deal, bro. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to keep them.
That's crazy.
I ain't gonna be able to keep you on the team.
We're gonna continue the conversation, man. We're gonna also go into the Chicago Bulls and why, for those that are still holding out, I don't know what's wrong with you. Give up the lottery dreams. We're getting into all that, but first got to get into a message from Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place. So you just stop managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on merch. You guys know me. Now I budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control over your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. More Locked On Bulls coming up next. All right, Pat. Tanking. Listen, I don't know. At this point, anybody who brings up the words Bulls and tank in the same conversation, unless they're saying they are not tanking, even then, I think everybody needs to come to the realization of what's happening here. The Bulls aren't tanking. They're not going to tank. You can whine about the tank. I don't know how you're whining about something that was never there. The Bulls never started a tank. They were never going to start a tank. Me and Pat have been telling you guys this for 3 straight years. 3 of them. Do you know what it's like to tell people stuff for 3 years and still hit people? What about the tank? We've been telling you there's no tank. At what? Go ahead, Pat.
Listen, you cooking, dog. Like I'm not going to tell you something that is not going to happen. Like, I'm not going to talk about a tank on something that's not going to happen. AK is never going to tank. He's never going to be somebody who wants to give up. He's never going to have a team out there that isn't a competitive team. And I hate to tell you this to all you pro tankers, but AK might be right. AK might actually be right. Hayes, we got to have a conversation on it, and we probably need to do it on a fuller episode, but AK might have won the Josh Giddey trade.
No, there's not might have. AK won the Josh Giddey trade. Like, and that's
you still got to pay a dude $30 million. I said,
yeah, but okay.
But you're getting there. But hey, you actually may want to pay him $30 million to be here.
But you know what people miss in all of this is that AC was a free agent at the end of this year.
Yep.
Do you think that AC would have that doesn't he want to compete for a title? Like he said it. And when he had that interview on TNT, I think people forget this. And he said he was still firmly a member of the Chicago Bulls. He said, "Right now, I play for the Bulls." That doesn't sound like somebody that's playing in the state for a long time. They moved on from him. It's okay. Yeah. They got the trade right. Now, yes, you still got to pay Josh Giddey. You still got to, re-sign him and things like that. That's fine. Like I said before, you've cleared the cap sheet. Even if it is $30 million. You have the risk tolerance now to pay him $30 million. I went over the numbers, Pat. The Bulls can pay $30 million to Coby, $30 million to Io, $30 million to Josh Giddey. Do you know how much they'll still have left in cap space after paying all those guys $30 million?
Italian beefs?
No, $55 million in cap space. That's how much cap space we have coming up in 2026. Yeah, we got money. Chill out.
He cleared the books. I'm not gonna lie, and by the way, I still think AK lost all of his trades because he took too long to make them. I still think he's made horrible decisions. The Lonzo Ball contract to me is one of the more idiotic things that I've ever seen him do. I don't care how controllable the deal is or how palpable the deal is. Like, you shouldn't have re-signed a dude to get you 35 games. And then on the flip side, hey, you see Lonzo on the court yet? 35 games. That's just dumb. I'm not telling you that AK has figured everything out. But I have to give credit where credit is due on moves that I doubted. I said the Josh Giddey move was going to be one we regretted. Giddey was playing horrible at the time when it happened. The Bulls weren't playing him in fourth quarters of games. Guess what? Now he's one of the best players in basketball. I dare say he's a top, I'm not going to go crazy, top 5 point guard in basketball right now. I'm not going to go crazy.
Top 5 point guard in basketball? Top 5 point guard. Who's the 5 you put in the and not that I disagree, but like right we're so okay. So
I would say you still got Shea. I would say Dame is still up there. Luka is still up there. I don't know what the heck Luka is, but yeah, I would say Luka is still up there.
Luka,
if you want to, then we throw Jokic up there. No, but
De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he's been banged up a little bit. I was gonna say Green, but Green's a shooting guard, ain't he? He handled the ball a lot.
Yeah. Jalen Brunson's definitely above.
Jalen Brunson is still up there.
I just know not that I disagree. I don't think he's higher than top 5. I'm just struggling right now. I should have.
I don't think he's 2, 3, 4. I'm just saying, like, what he's been playing at the level he's been playing at. He's one of the best point guard. Oh yeah, Steph. How did we forget
how the hell did
that
we
was crazy?
Steph? Jesus,
that was
Christ.
Insane.
That's wild. That was a fail on both our parts. That's crazy. Wow. But guess what? This isn't a Warriors podcast.
Yeah, you go check out Locked On.
Exactly.
But yeah, like I guess okay, top 6 maybe. Even so, the fact that we can say he's top anything, and it's like, okay, let's get a list of guys, and you got to kind of go through and be like, who's up there? I think that's a good conversation for you to be having.
He's more like top 10.
He's probably closer to top 10.
Yeah, Cade is close. Tyrese, you're still probably putting him above him.
Am I?
You're not putting Maxey above Giddey?
Oh, Tyrese Maxey. I thought you meant Halliburton.
No. No. But okay.
I don't know. Well, Maxey been hurt too, though.
Yeah, but let's not act like Giddey hasn't been hurt. Everybody's been hurt.
No. Maxey been hurt for like time. Like Giddey been hurt. Giddey missed what, 2, 3 games?
He missed 4 this time. He missed another 4 or 5 earlier in the season?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Either way, top point guard. We at top 10 now. Top 15. He's a top 32 point guard in the NBA. Let me tell you that right now. But no, I feel like he's done a lot to speak to why that's a good move. I'm going to give AK credit for that. I think that when you look at the modest pick, no one's mad about that. That's a good draft pick right now.
Yeah.
That's a good draft pick. Like we're sitting here with like AK has nothing in the draft, and I still don't have confidence in him in the draft. Modest Buzelis just put up his career high and was cooking. And he's continuing to get better. Like, you have to look at some of these moves and say, AK is doing it right. The tank dreams, the going to get Cooper Flag, the going to get all these top players. It's probably not going to happen because what you're seeing right now is actually working.
Yeah, the Bulls are going to have to make sure that they're going to have to develop. They better hope that Modest is going to hit a nice leap in year 2, but then also you're going to have to get some luck. I know we say luck like you need to scout correctly, but you're going to have to hope that one of those guys you can get. Yeah, I mean, all draft is luck because let's be clear, we got a top 4 pick on our team right now.
If you had told me when the draft was happening that Shabazz Napier would be absolute garbage in the NBA, I'd have told you wrong. If you had told me that Austin Reeves
Napier, you didn't think he was going to be bad?
I didn't think he was going to be garbage.
Okay.
No, he was garbage. He wasn't bad. He was garbage. If you had told me though, like at the draft, like Jalen Brunson grew up in the same general area as us. Like if you had told me Jalen Brunson was going to be a solid NBA point guard, I'd have been like 100%. If you had told me he was going to be one of the best point guards in the NBA, I wouldn't have told you that when he got drafted. Like,
yeah.
These dudes make their own bed. Oh, dang, we forgot Ja Morant, too. Oof, we quickly pushing him. Oh, Drew Holiday, 5.
Yeah.
He's 10. He's 10.
You did surprise me when you said top 5.
5 is crazy. 5 is crazy.
Yeah.
5 was nuts. I went a little, I was a little too overzealous. I was a little too giddy, if you will.
Matt Peck threw 5 hats at us just now over that segment. Just letting you know that right now.
And this whole segment, he's just been launching them out of the
launching hats, beating us hats. But
don't
yeah,
forget about Kyrie. Oh, dang it. He might be 11.
Listen, I'm telling you, top 50. He's one of the best
that
point guards.
Was crazy. That was a terrible take.
Yeah. Pat be getting caught up in the moment sometimes. He be cooking. I don't like stopping him, but sometimes Pat be tripping a little bit, man.
That was crazy.
We're going to continue the conversation, man. We're going to talk about the Bulls' upcoming week. How many wins will Pat predict that the Bulls get this week? Quick in and out because there ain't no ads. There you go. There you go.
I said ads, right?
I said ads.
Okay.
Ads.
All right, I got nervous. Nervous.
Let me make sure I enunciate ads. Because with that said, Pat, let's look at the schedule this upcoming week, man. Let's predict the week for the Chicago Bulls. Actually, a pretty calm week. Only 3 games for us this week after that hellacious week that we had last week. Monday, Denver. Thursday, Lakers. Saturday, Dallas.
Give me a dub over Dallas.
Okay. Now, AD, Derek Lively, and Daniel Gafford could be back by that game.
I don't care. Give me a dub over Dallas. AD finna run what? All 48 minutes? Because that's all they got on the team. Like, ain't nobody alive over there. They literally were going to. Did you see that they were going to have to forfeit games?
Yeah.
If AD came back. I'm not fully convinced AD is healthy.
He's not. He's just there so they didn't have to forfeit games. The league put it in the call.
Bro, I think they literally brought him back to say he's healthy enough to sit on this bench.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's all that is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the Lakers are gonna absolutely destroy us. I think this next game versus the Lakers.
Oh, bro, if anything's
gonna be LeBron and Luka
and LeBron's moods after that the last game. No, yeah, they coming for blood, bro.
Yeah, you got your one. You got your one. Enjoy it. You won by 40. Now, I shouldn't say destroy us. I do think the Bulls will be competitive in that game, but I think that's a Laker game that the Lakers probably end up getting. And then, you know what? The Nuggets game is interesting. I don't know the health of Jokic tonight. Is he going to be?
He's not playing tonight.
He's not playing tonight. I think the Bulls get a win tonight.
So you got the Bulls going 2-1 over this week.
Got them going 2-1. I had them 3-2 last week. We end up going 3-2. So listen, if you're if you can get this game tonight versus the Nuggets, I think that as crazy as it is to say with the Bulls, I think Dallas is a shoe-in because I don't think any of the players that they're bringing back are healthy. I think they literally are just trying.
Yeah, but it's the Bulls. Like, you know what?
Not this Bulls though.
Over the stretch, have we seen a random G League player go off for 30 against us?
Nope. Not this Bulls. That's what I'm saying. Yes, it's the Bulls, but it's not this Bulls. I'm a little bit more confident with my prediction. Now watch us go 0-3. But
if we go 0-3 this week, I'm just letting you know right now, Pat. I'm snatching your chain. I'm just letting you know.
That's all right. It's okay. I got
disappointment. Just snatch more.
I'll say this. I would say we go 2-1 and we will be never mind. I was gonna say we'll be tied with the Magic for 8th place, but unless they get a random Hornets loss or a Mavericks loss, yeah, they probably gonna win 3 games this week.
Oh man, crazy things, man. But no, I agree with you. I think that 2-1 is a solid week for the Bulls. That Denver not having Jokic is going to be really big, and not to say that team's like a cakewalk just because they don't have Jokic. Jokic is so important to that team. It's still a tough team, a well coached team, but the way that this Bulls team's playing right now on both sides of the ball,
and that's the thing about it, dog. Like when you talk about tonight's game, right? Like you look at last night's, or you look at was that Friday's game versus the Lakers. That was a game, or Saturday's game versus the Lakers. That was a game to me where the second half, how the Bulls locked in defensively, just destroyed. Like the Lakers didn't know what to do. And rarely have I said that about a team, this Bulls team, and rarely have I said that about any time we've gone up against teams with better talent. I mean, even the Phoenix game, it got to a point in the game where it was just like, yep, that is Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do about that.
Yeah.
That didn't happen in that Lakers game. And I don't know if the Bulls are figuring something out, if that was just a hot game and you got after Luka in the second half a little
LeBron's
bit
nuts were hurting, Pat. That's what that is.
It could have been that,
bro.
It could have been that.
That had a part to do in it, bro. Listen, I tell you what, if Patrick Williams has 2 games defensively like he did against LeBron in that first, if he has another one this week, I don't know. I may be back in on the Patrick Williams business, bro. Like,
hey, yeah.
No, you know what it is. You know how like this is gonna be a deep cut. This is very deep cut. Do you remember when Chris Duhon used to put the clamps on Darren Wood? Like every time it'll be like, did Duhon just lock him up?
Yep.
That may be what
you know what the I will say, because P. Will does play LeBron tough. There's a couple of people he does actually play tough. If P. Will locks up LeBron again, it'll be like when Vooch plays Jokic.
Yeah,
it'll just be like, this don't make no sense. Why?
Yeah.
What's happening there? What's going on here?
Yeah, Jokic's defensive numbers against Vooch are crazy. Like literally, if he played Vooch if he played Jokic 82 games, he'll probably be the second best defensive center in the league.
Hey, bro, I'm not fully convinced Jokic don't be like, I ain't gonna do my boy like that. He need his money.
They do have dinner together every time after a game, which is crazy because at some point Jokic got to be like, hey man, like,
he puts up the few times that Joel Embiid actually want to smoke with him. He puts up like 50 against Embiid. He destroyed Victor Wembanyama in almost every matchup that they had.
But Nikola Vucevic is the one that he has a problem with.
Vucevic is my problem.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, man. Any thoughts, Pat, before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, let's get out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. See y'all tonight after the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow Pat at Pat the Designer. You can follow me at CEO Hayes. You can follow us collectively at Locked On Bulls. Locked On Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube, the Odyssey app, Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV. If you want Locked On Bulls, you can get it. Anybody can get it. We'll catch you guys after the game tonight. Love you guys. Go Bulls. Peace.
Little ABG. Anybody get it?
Anybody can get it. All right.